Planning for a trip to Hokkaido soon? Wondering what to eat and where to find them? Or maybe you already have an idea of what to eat, but are you sure that is a local specialty here? Or even a delicacy over here in Hokkaido? In this video today, I'll show you the top 5 food recommendations here in Hokkaido. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Let's go! Our first recommendation comes in the form of a takeout, zangi. Now, zangi is most of the time a chicken dish. As you can see from the scarf here, the design, this is the shop that we got the zangi from. We have the batter that is made of seasoned ingredients, then coated onto the chicken, and finally deep frying them. Notice one thing, I use the word most of the time is chicken. That's because for zangi, you also could apply it for taco, ika, seafood as well. But the most common base ingredient is actually chicken. So then here comes the question, what's the difference between a zangi and karaage? Since karaage is also chicken, isn't it? Do you know what's the difference? Okay, let's try zangi. Oishii. Look at the chicken here. Oh, the flavor is just wonderful. It's just the seasoning and the flavor in the batter is just so deep. What's the difference between a zangi and a karaage? Isn't both of them deep fried as well? But there is a slight difference here. In fact, it is the difference that differentiates between a zangi and a karaage. The main difference here is a zangi is heavily seasoned and flavored in comparison to a karaage. Usually for a karaage, it's just flour and fried. And even then, there may be some karaage that is also lightly seasoned with certain flavors here. The stronger it is, it actually lies towards the zangi side. The lighter one, it'll be a karaage. Pretty interesting, ain't it? This just with a difference in flavoring, we can have a whole new word and description for it. I'm currently at a very popular tourist spot in Otaru, Hokkaido. This is Otaru Canal. A very picturesque spot, isn't it? Look at that. Notice one very interesting fact. The canal is actually not straight. There's a gentle curve towards it. You see it? Yeah. And actually here last year, 2023, marked the 100th anniversary of the completion of this particular canal. So I guess this year 2024 is 101 years, coming soon, 101 years anniversary. Yeah, so a landmark year last year for Otaru Canal, 100-year anniversary. I'm on my way to Otaru Sankaku Market. Can you guess what we are going to eat? Oh, I just realized I may already have given you a clue by saying the word market. Well, in Japan, whenever you associate the word market to Japan, naturally, the thing that comes to your mind immediately is sakana, fish. Yep, for our second recommendation, we are going to eat kaisen don. The notion of knowing a particular restaurant is in a particular market, it kind of gives off the impression that the restaurant will close early, maybe sometime before noon. But not to worry, most of the shops here in Sankaku Market have regular closing time in the evenings.
Yes, if you're in Otaru City, nope, I should say, if you're in the prefecture of Hokkaido, you definitely got to eat kaisen don over here. You can choose to ignore all the other recommendations in this video, and I wouldn't be mad, but you definitely cannot give kaisen don a miss. And that's because Hokkaido is well known not just locally, but also internationally to have the very best seafood in the whole of Japan. There's just something special with Hokkaido seafood. It is extra fresh, extra sweet, and extra seafoody, if ever there's such a word. And all those are not even subjective in nature, but it could be seen and tasted. I mean, just look at our latest video, where we pit a tourist area kaisen don versus a local area kaisen don. Look at that! Both just look mad tasty. Even I got a shock how unbelievably delicious they were. And this is coming from me, who has eaten countless bowls of kaisen don across Japan. Simply unbelievable. For sure, there are many shops here in Otaru, Hokkaido that sells kaisen don. Some very value for money, but be careful, some are more premium and expensive than others. Choose one to your liking, and you will not go wrong. For us here at Oishii Apron, for a crowded touristy location like the Otaru Canal area, we recommend Sankaku-tei for the variety and value you'll be getting. And if you don't mind traveling further out to taste the pinnacle of kaisen don, we definitely recommend Kaisen Minato Shokudo at Plat Minatomachi. Yummy! Visiting Otaru is simply not just an eating affair, it is one that also includes an audio and visual experience to remember. Besides seafood, Otaru is also famous for their glass production industry and market. There are two iconic glass shops that serves as landmarks in Otaru, the Taisho Glass Museum and the Kitaji Glass Shop. What a sight to behold! With their exquisite and intricate signature glass designs, both landmarks served up a visual experience to remember, from stylized animals to practical uses, or even simply a display. One would easily be mesmerized by their beauty and literally spend hours in the shop, trying to learn, understand, and appreciate the craftsmanship and skills involved in making those beautiful glass pieces. And to complete the visual experience, both Taisho Glass Museum and Kitaji Glass Shop are housed in architectures that were built from the Meiji era. Besides admiring and appreciating those beautiful buildings of the Meiji period from the outside, as you enter, a deep sense of tradition and legacy could be felt, ever so slightly, warming the heart and soul. There are many other landmarks here in Otaru that are worth noting, from the world's largest steam clock to intricate musical and art pieces, or even simply a place to buy awesome and eat delicious snacks. Otaru is definitely a place in Hokkaido where tradition and modernity so intricately linked and mixed.
Our third food recommendation actually became Sapporo Soul Food in 2005. And not just that, it was so popular back then that it actually started trending on Google Trends data. Now, can you imagine that? So yeah, we are on our way over there right now. Yeah, the train is empty, as you can see. Yeah, I just can't wait. Let's go. Our third recommendation, the soup curry. Now, there is also one more thing you realize about the soup curry that is very apparent right here in the bowl. There are actually a lot of vegetables. So one of the trademark of a soup curry is you have tons of vegetables, right? Over here you can see I have lotus roots, I have lady's fingers, I have some sort of a greens here and so forth, I have onions. Yeah, usually in a ordinary Japanese curry, they have some smaller ingredients like minced meat or maybe some onions to go along with the curry. But in a soup curry, there are actually tons of vegetables inside. Whether it be a fried version of the vegetable or actually, just raw and placed in and cooked together. Yeah, so everything, a lot of vegetables within a soup curry. Now, in a regular Japanese curry, you actually just, the curry will be on top of the rice and you just take the rice and just eat it in your mouth directly. However, in a soup curry, it is slightly different. What you do is, you actually take a bit of the rice, like this. Okay, you take a little bit of the rice, and thereafter, you actually put it within the soup. Right, scoop a small portion of the curry with your spoon and the rice together, and then eat it. Fantastic. Really sweet, this prawn-based curry. Fantastic. And I just remembered, for a soup curry, the spicy level, sometimes when we talk about Japanese curry, it's actually not really very spicy, but for a soup curry, the spiciness is actually one level higher, so you can expect it to be more spicy than a regular Japanese curry. But other than that, this particular prawn-based curry is just fantastic, really sweet. And the curry just punch in my throat. What a fantastic taste. What you saw just now, the thing on my spoon, was actually sweet potato. Yeah, so you could see actually in the bowl itself, there's so many different types of vegetables, roots, so on and so forth. You know, with so much vegetables, not to forget, I actually also ordered a lamb as part of my meat for the curry. Ooh, I can't wait to try. Let me grab some of this. Definitely from just the appearance, you already notice a vast difference in comparison to a traditional Japanese curry. And also the way we're eating this, very different. Just grab the curry together with rice and eat it like that. But here, you're supposed to do some dipping. Well, I may prefer this particular feature because sometimes for a particular Japanese curry, for the ordinary Japanese curry, you know, the curry sauce just goes on all over the rice. Yeah, it's sometimes a little too wet. In this particular way of eating the soup curry, the rice is actually still dry. And you know, if I like to just eat the rice, it's possible as well. Like for example, you know, I can take the fried oyster that I ordered, you know, without being affected by the curry at all. Delicious. Yeah, so even though just now I mentioned earlier that the soup curry is actually Sapporo's soul food, but you know, the trend of soup curry is spread so rapidly across Hokkaido that, you know, even in Chitose, I'm currently right now in Chitose, you can find many restaurants selling soup curry. Ooh, what a great trend. And it's very easy to see why. Very tasty, very delicious, a lot of variety, very healthy as well, with all the vegetables. Oof, perfect. Now you might be wondering, for the different soup curries, do they all have the same type of vegetables that is being used? The answer is no. It all depends on the soup base, the soup curry base that you choose, and also depends on the ingredients they're the meat base actually. So different kind of soup curries have different vegetables. As you can see in the menu right now, there's so many different types of curry base that's available. The one I ordered is actually the prawn base. They also have the bonito base curry. So many in the list. Yeah, and honestly, I believe all of them would taste delicious. Truth to be told, guys, I kind of regret, you know, taking the smaller portion rice because the curry is so delicious. And I'm running out of rice actually. What a great problem to have. Yeah, so in my opinion, just go for the medium portion rice or even go for the extra large. No regrets, no regrets. When I was told about this literally just now, I thought we are going to two different places. Surprisingly, we are going to this particular restaurant called Chitoseya. In this particular place over here. Oh, it looks really local, isn't it? We are directly underneath a particular bridge. Insane, isn't it? I just found out that this particular restaurant, Chitoseya, has legacy, guys. Legacy. Now, Chitoseya, this particular place, is 73 years old. You know, 73 years old, guys. Can you imagine? Oh, this is a place that is very popular among the locals here. It's very bustling right now. Fantastic. I can't wait for the food to arrive. Right? The two recommendations. I can't wait for them to arrive. Alright guys, look at this. It has arrived. This is horumon yaki. Look at that. Ooh. Look at. Oh, this is just, you know, sizzling hot right here, right now. Does it sound familiar? Yes, it sure is familiar. And that's because we recently did a video on Fukuoka Prefecture's specialty, the motsunabe. It is the only hot pot that is certified viral in Japan. And in that dish, they have beef horumons. Go check that video out and update your Japan Foodex. Let's see what we got here. Wow, fantastic, isn't it? Look at this. This is the pork horumon. Oof. As you know, horumon from the previous video that we did is actually intestines. And this is actually pork intestines. As I mentioned earlier, pork is more common here in Hokkaido. The base of this particular horomonyaki is actually miso. Yeah, so I can't wait to, you know, to taste how it is and see how it's like. And over here, can you guess what this is? 3,
2, 1.
This is actually lamb meat, guys. Look at this. Lamb meat. Now, let's see. Ooh. Sizzling here. Fantastic. Oh, look at that. Look at this meat. Ooh. So fresh. Now, this particular dish is called Genghis Khan. And once again, does this sound familiar at all? Genghis Khan? Really hungry there. Look at this. Ooh. Ooh. Have a bit of the horumon. Oh, the miso is actually pretty thick here. You know, it's not so, how do you say? Not so soupy, but rather, you know, very thick. Oh, this is fabulous. Before I begin, there's one thing I need to do. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Everything is warm and hot here. Perfect for a, you know, a very cold night tonight at Hokkaido. Oh, the miso is so sweet. Fantastic.
Here are some fun facts about Hokkaido miso and why it is so delicious. Firstly, Hokkaido miso is rice-based, and locals here in Hokkaido use red miso. Due to Hokkaido's long duration of cold weather, the miso here requires long-term aging, and this resulted in the miso having a thick texture but a very mild flavor. Lastly, it is very well known among Hokkaido locals here that Hokkaido red miso goes very well with hot pot, stew, and soup.
Oh, Hokkaido miso is just top-notch, guys. Fantastic. Fabulous. Okay, I'm going to try the horumon now. Over here. Oishii. Oishii. Completely different texture from the beef horumon. This is more, I would say, more flavorful, more sweet, and slightly more chewy, but in a good way. Not too tough at all. Soft, but more chewy. Fantastic. Alright, I'm gonna try the lamb meat. Look at this. Super juicy. Sizzling hot here. Let's see. I'm just afraid it's too hot and I burn my tongue. Ready? Should be fine. Oh, the meat is so soft. When I put the lamb meat into my mouth, when I start chewing it, automatically it melts. Ooh, fabulous. And so sweet. You can taste the freshness, you know, the sweetness of the lamb. Oh, no, I was expecting it to be tough, but no, it's so soft, so wonderful here. Now, one thing I also realized from my tasting just now, you know, usually when we eat lamb, there is always this fear that, you know, there's going to be the lamb, you know, sort of a, you know, taste, the kind of very lamby kind of taste. But no, this one absolutely not. So this actually goes to show, you know, it's so well prepared, it's so fresh, and so, you know, prepared well for the meal. That sort of, you know, smelly kind of lamb taste is not present whatsoever. Fabulous. But some say this is where the dish got its name from, right? You look at the plate here.
Indeed, there are two major theories on how the dish Genghis Khan got its name, and one of them caught my eye. And that is, the pot used for Genghis Khan actually resembled the helmets worn by Mongolian soldiers led by Genghis Khan himself. Hence the name of the dish. Interesting. But for sure, whichever theory is true at the end of the day, the dish Genghis Khan is just too delicious.
In comparison to the more popular, you know, more well-known Hokkaido dishes, like your Hokkaido miso ramen, or even the Hokkaido kani ryori, I dare say the horomonyaki and also the Genghis Khan are even more popular among the locals here, and even eaten more on a regular basis in comparison to the more popular ones. Yeah, just outstanding.